I'm Mike Ciampo. Welcome to this segment of Training Minutes. Today we're going to talk about roll-up doors, garage doors, maybe self-storage centers, any place that has an automatic garage door opener. And what I'm talking about is many times we'll pull up to these occupancies, we won't see chains, we won't see a manually raised gate, but we may notice on the wall an electronic control box. Sometimes they may even have a stop button on them here in the center. As this one we can see says open and close. It's a simple key switch that you'll turn right or left to open and close. What that's going to do is it's going to move the lever inside to hit the electric contact switches. One of the times we'll maybe do this is we have a sprinkler pipe that burst. We don't have heavy fire conditions. If we have very large gates which are heavy, instead of just maybe cutting half of it and doesn't go all the way up, we'll be able to use this. Always remember though, if the gate is distorted by heat and fire, we're going to have to cut that gate. But if we can use the control box, it helps our forcible entry procedures rapidly happen. One of the big things here is it's 4 simple screws. We'll take a simple Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead, depending on what they use, and we can take out the 2 top screws. And maybe that gives us enough play to use a little hand tool to move the limit switches. If not, we can take all 4 screws out, pull this out. The wiring isn't going to let you pull it far out, but we'll be able to pull it out enough to get a hand tool in there. Most of these gates are 110 power. However, our big stores, very large gates, heavy gates, they may be 220. There was some talk years ago that if we drove the pike of the Halligan tool into the side of the box, we can move the tool. We never want to do that. You can get electrocuted, especially if there's a 220 volt gate, you're surely to die. One of the other things we might want to talk about is this box. If you pull up in a large occupancy, you can't find any chains or padlocks. This may be enclosed in another box. We've seen them recessed into a wall with a flap cover. Remember, just if you're moving this key sometimes and the gate's not going up and you hear the motor churning, the gate might have pins and locks on each end that also have to be cut out of the channel rail for the gate to go up. It's very important that firefighters carry a 5-in-1 screwdriver, especially if we're going to have Phillips or a slot-headed screw. Also, when we pull this box out, we could stick the screwdriver in there to hit the limit switch or the up and down, depending on the type of switch in the back. We could use a pick tool from the K tool, or even use a shove knife if we can't get the wiring all the way out. We may be able to reach right inside the box and be able to hit the limit switch without removing the whole box. Remember, if conditions permit, let's attack this box with our 5-in-1 screwdriver. Carl's going to go up here and he's going to start unscrewing the screws, giving us access into the plate. Once he's completed all 4 screws, we'll pull the cover out and we'll have the wires and the mechanism exposed. Once the screws have been removed, we're going to take the cover plate off. We might have to wiggle it a little bit. It might be tight in there. We might have to pry it with a screwdriver. We're going to get it off. We're going to expose the limit switch. The upside is on that side. He's going to press down with the K tool pick and the door will go up. We can't be afraid of this limit switch, okay? It's 4 easy screws to remove. Once we pull it out, it may take a little bit of wiggling, prying it off, and we're going to be looking for 2 things. 1, the arm that controls both sides. You'll see the arm moves up and down, okay? If the plate isn't marked for open and close, right, we can move the switch in either direction. If that's a problem, what we'll do is we'll simply press in on the limit switches. We can use a K tool pick, a shove knife, or a screwdriver. And we'll just press in on the switch, and that makes the contact, and that raises the gate. I'm Mike Ciampo. Thanks for watching this segment of Training Minutes.